Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is stellabeautytarot back at you again with another video. I would like to thank each and every one of you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and donating to my channel. I really do appreciate all the love and all the support. And thank you for those of you who've been booking readings with me. It is truly appreciated, okay? So guys, your girl's Patreon channel is up and running. So if you would like to support your girl, you'll be able to find a link in the description box below. I do post 2 exclusive videos per week, so go check it out if you feel called to. So guys, before we dive in, if you've been loving the energy here, I have created a collection of spiritual ebooks and printable workbooks to help you along your journey. From manifestation ritual to love journal prompts, these tools are designed to help you align, heal, and rise. You can find the link in the description box below or on my Patreon under the shop tab, okay? So as you guys could tell by the title of this video is going to be about why people can't figure you out. So pile number 1, you're going to be the lazurite crystal. Pile number 2, you're going to be the rose quartz crystal. And pile number 3, you're going to be the amethyst crystal. So again, pile number 1, lazurite crystal. Pile number 2, rose quartz crystal. And pile number 3, amethyst crystal. So pause this video if you must and meditate on the card or the crystal that you feel most drawn to. You'll be able to find your timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see you guys at your pile. Hi Pawan! Welcome to my channel. This is stellabeautytarot back at you again with another video. So my pile number 1, you picked the lazurite crystal, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way that I like to do this is like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous file or previous readings, okay? So my pile number 1, why people can't figure you out. Why people can't figure you out, my pal number 1? Let's see why. We have the Emperor. Spouse. You're coming through with like a spouse. Okay, they can't figure you out. You have a strong energy here with the Emperor. You could be an Aries, don't have to be. You could be a fire sign, so Leo or Sag. But you definitely embody leadership qualities. But I feel like your leadership style is quiet. Okay, very subtle. Okay. It's not forceful. It's not like you're not a performative leader. Like somebody who's loud and proud. Not you. Okay, you are proud, but you don't have to be like, you know, a show off or all up in people's faces, okay? So why people can't figure you out? Ooh, you walk to the beat of your own drum. So you walk, like the way that you operate is by faith and not by sight. So it's not like it's something that is measurable. Like people cannot measure what your next step is going to be. They cannot like dictate what your next step is going to be. You're very strategic in your approach and you walk by faith. So you have an inner compass that you utilize in order to dictate what your next move is going to be. It's not like linear. Because like, let's say if your spirit guides tell you go left now, you're gonna go left. You're gonna listen and go left. If they tell you go right, you're gonna go right. If they tell you go straight, you're gonna go straight. If they tell you to pause, you're gonna pause. That's not something that people could anticipate, because this is like spiritual. This is like just you, between you and your guide. So people cannot anticipate what your next move is gonna be. Even if they try to do, you know, magic, whatever they try to do, they still cannot interfere with that connection. If you have a strong spiritual protection, they cannot interfere with that. And I feel like you do with the Emperor. So why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure. Ooh, we have the Magician. So you could be a Gemini or a Virgo. And if you are a Gemini and it's your birthday today, happy birthday. Okay. So you are a true magician. You are a master manifester. You speak things into existence. And I feel like the reason why people can't figure you out is because of your the way that you think with the Magician, the way that you see the world. It's like innovative, it's forward thinking, it's not it's a way where people, like I said, it's unpredictable about the way that you think. It's very versatile, adaptable, so you know how to roll with the punches. Why people can't figure you out, especially in the workplace, we have the Hierophant. You have your own set of tradition here. You have your own sets of values and rules that you abide by, like your own inner compass. So it's not something that is been given to you. This is something that you've cultivated on your own with the Hierophant, and that's why people can't figure you out. You're very, like, you're different from what they are expecting. I also feel like the reason why people can't figure you out is because they have a narrative in their mind about people that look like you. Okay, so this is where people are prejudiced or, discriminatory, okay, based on what somebody looks like. They make assumptions about them. So I feel like this could have been like a theme, a reoccurring theme in your life, my pound one, where people assume certain things about you just because of the way that you look, or maybe because you have an accent, the way that you speak. They may have assumed that you are a specific way. And that's the reason why they can't figure you out, because they have this image of you in their mind that does not fit the reality of you. Okay. And that's what makes it difficult, challenging for them to even understand you on a more personal level. So why people can't figure you out? Ooh, we have the Ace of Cups, because you have self-love here. You don't seek outside validation. So people don't know how to deal with you. They don't know how to engage with you because of the way that they maneuver. They maneuver very manipulatively. I don't even know if that's a word. Manipulatively. But they operate in a manipulative way, and it doesn't really align with you, so they can't figure you out because their manipulative games don't work on you, because you're a sovereign being with the Ace of Cups. Why people can't figure you out? Ooh, we have the Ace of Wands for you, my pound one. Okay. I'm like the Ace. Ooh, I was like the Ace of One. Ace of One. Holy moly. Okay. With the Ace of Wands, what I'm getting here, the reason why people can't figure you out, holy, somebody does not want me to talk, is because you lead by passion. You have a different way of seeing the world, and you're somebody who's very, like, who's action oriented. And because you're a sovereign being, you don't need anybody else to motivate you. You're self motivated. So it's kind of hard to manipulate you with certain things, because what motivates you may not be what motivates most people. Maybe some people are motivated by public recognition, by being recognized by their work or performance, but you're not. You're self-motivated by different things, by your own inner compass. And that's why people can't figure you out, because if they don't know what your inner compass is, your goals, your values, your work ethic, like your code of ethic, it's kind of hard for them to manipulate you or figure out how to maneuver with you, because they don't know where you stand. Why people can't figure you out? We have the Six of Pentacles, because you have a generous spirit. When you do things, you don't do things for to gain some sort of like access or some sort of recognition. With the Six of Pentacles, you have a generous spirit. It's by nature. There's no malice in your heart. So people are trying to figure out, like, okay, yo, if this person's moving, like, they're moving with integrity, like, what are they really about? And it's like they're trying to, like, it's like the reason why they can't figure you out is because they're trying to paint a negative uh picture of you, and it's not fitting. It's like you keep showing them a different side, and they're having a hard time adjusting or believing who you're showing up to be is the real you. They think it's like a mask because that's how they operate. So they're projecting onto you saying that you're like that because they're like that. Okay? So why people can't figure you out? There's somebody who's pissed because the Five of Swords keeps coming out. Somebody's pissed. So why people can't figure you out? Ten of Swords. Ooh. I feel like it's because of the way that they behave. Ten of Swords represent betrayal, ending, backstabbing, and negative energy. And I feel like with the Ten of Swords, there is this energy where people may betray you, they may backstab you, they may do things to you that are uncalled for. But the way that you come back, the way that you bounce back from this experience is like out of this world because you don't operate the same way that they would have if they were in your shoes. So I'll just give an example. Let's say you are at work, okay? And somebody purposely tried to sabotage you in front of the leadership, like senior leadership, and you conducted yourself with grace, excellence, okay? And this person may be thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to retaliate because I did this to them. And oh, like, you did this and they did that. No, you not even retaliating. You operated with grace and integrity here. And that's why people can't figure you out because they know if they were in that your shoes, they would have reacted in a totally different way. And you, by like behaving in the way that you did with high integrity and sovereignty, you're coming up as like on top, and someone that is they're kind of puzzled that they want to get to know more, but they don't even know how to engage anymore because you're not responding the same way that they would have responded in that same situation. You're not responding with negativity, hostility. You still show grace. So why people can't figure you out? We have the Three of Cups. Yeah, because you still respond with grace with the Three of Cups. You're joyful. And even like regardless of what you've gone through in your life with the Ten of Swords, you still have a beautiful heart with the Three of Cups. Why people can't figure you out? We have the Five of Pentacles. Ooh, because you're not a people pleaser, you're not afraid of cutting off people. They can't figure out like why you're like, how are you so quick to emotionally detach and drop people and not feel any way about it? Like, even if the Ten of Swords happens to you, doesn't mean that you're gonna, just because like with the Three Cups you're joyful, you're happy, and you will forgive and like forget, doesn't mean that you will reconcile with them. Like, you're gonna drop them like a bad habit. Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? We have the Queen of Wands. Like, where does your confidence come from? People can't figure that out. How are you so confident when you don't really need outside validation? You don't even seek outside validation. Why are you so confident? Why are you so poised? You're not getting the support that you need. I feel like this could be workplace related because we have the Emperor here. I feel like you have a quiet leadership style about you, but your leadership style is not given, it's earned through your energy. You don't need the title to be a leader. Okay, you don't need to be titled a leader in your company or in your business or in your field. Your energy will speak for you, but people just don't even know, where does that Queen of Wands energy come from? How did you get it? How did you cultivate it? But because you're very quiet about it, you're not boastful. So why people can't figure you out? We have the Empress. The Empress and the Emperor, my pal number one. You embody Venusian energy. You could be a Taurus because we have Taurus twice, or a Libra here. People can't figure you out because you're somebody who operates with grace and dignity. Okay, with the Empress, you're very creative and abundant, and your creativity is out of this world. It's not something that could be duplicated. That's why people can't figure you out. They're wondering, where do you get those ideas? Where do you get this energy, this essence from? How did you cultivate that? Like, they really try to figure out like who you are behind the scenes, because I feel like these are people that are only seeing a part of you, not the whole side. So why people can, ooh, because you're unpredictable with the Tower. You could be a Scorpio here, Scorpio, Libra, Cusper as well. We have Aries, Gemini. Ooh, Aries, Gemini. Aries, Taurus, Cusper, and Gemini, Taurus, Cusper as well. So my pounder one, why people can't figure you out? We have the Five of Cups. Five of Cups could represent sadness, disappointment. I feel like it's because of an energetic boundary, emotional boundary that you have here, and that's why they can't figure you out. And some of them, they're kind of disappointed that they don't have emotional access to you. It's because you revoked emotional access to people. That's why they can't figure you out. You keep people at arm's length. Why people can't figure you out? You don't give them an energetic entry because we have the hangman the hangman. I was gonna say in reverse, but you don't give them an energetic entry in order to get close to you enough to like find like your moves or find a weak spot in order to capitalize on that. Okay, and that's why they can't figure you out. Why people can't figure you out? We have the King of Wands. Yeah, your boldness. People can't figure that out. Where does it come from? How did you get it? Like, why are you so confident? Why are you sitting on your throne and unbothered? Like, why does our behavior with the Ten of Swords, the way that we behave towards you, how the things that we do to you, how we try to sabotage you, how come it's not affecting you the same way that they would expect it to affect you? If they were in your shoes, they would have crumbled by now, but you're still standing strong, and people are trying to figure out like, how are you doing that? They can't understand it because the power that you cultivate is from within, and you have gathered, like you have gone through a lot of experiences in your life, and it has strengthened your character. Why people can't figure you out? We have the Ace of Pentacles, we have Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, not Ace of Pentacles. Oof. You have the Matters touch. You're a natural born hustler with the Ace of Pentacles. People can't figure out your drive. That's what it is. People can't figure that out. Like how you're so driven, you're so focused, even if you don't have the title. That's where they get messed up. It's the title part. They're wondering like, how come you don't have the title of a leader? So let's say like a senior leadership, like a vice president of product or something like that. Okay, like a fancy title, right? You don't have that. However, your character holds weight, and people can't figure that out. They can't figure out like, how come you don't have the title, but you have the energy, you have the essence of somebody who should be in a leadership position. So this tells me it could be in your workplace. So why people can't figure you out? We have the Lovers. There's definitely an alignment with you. You could definitely be a Gemini here because we have the Lovers and we have the Magician. So this is alignment, values aligned. People can't figure the reason why they can't figure you out is because your values are different than their values. What they value in life is very different from what you value in life. Maybe they just value status, titles, money, while you value integrity, character, honesty, okay? Work ethics. This is totally different. It's not even like remotely the same. So that's why they can't figure you out. They can't figure out like, why do you operate the same way that like the way that you operate, how come it's not the same as theirs? Why do you produce more like high quality value than they do when they have the title? I really feel like this is a workplace. I keep getting like workplace situations for you guys, like the collective lately, like a lot of workplace situation where like the truth is being revealed about your true character, who you are as a person, how you operate within a group setting, okay? And it's being revealed. So why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? We have the Three of Swords because you keep them at a distance with the Three of Swords. You're not emotionally invested. That's why they can't figure you out. Like you don't like your emotional maturity is what keeps you safe as well, because you know how to read the room very well. So why people can't figure you out? See, the Five of Cups wanted to come out. Why people can't figure you out? We have the Lovers again. Yeah, it's the way that you think, because the Lovers is Gemini energy. So it's the way that you think. You're a quick thinker. You're swift in the way that you do things, the way that you see things, and how you perceive, and you move accordingly. So by the time that people catch up to you, you're already 10 steps ahead of them. So that's why they can't figure you out. Why people can't figure you out? Yeah, I can't make it up. Knight of Swords, quick thinking, swift action. And you're also somebody who does not procrastinate. You take charge. You take inspired action. Why people can't figure you out? We have the World card. Okay, no, we have the the Ace of Swords. Wow, the Page of Swords. Holy moly! Why people can't figure you out? We have the Three of Wands. Yeah, because you're a forward thinker. You're 10 step ahead of these people with the Three of Wands. That's why they can't figure you out. Like the moment that they feel like they have, you're already ahead, moving forward to the next thing. Okay? Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't, just one card, please, Spirit. Why people can't figure you out? You move forward. Six of Swords. You move on to calmer waters. You're already ahead. You leave things that are no longer in alignment with you. Like you're not a hoarder. You don't hoard things. You don't cling to the past. You don't cling to situation. So it's like it's kind of hard for people to manipulate you because you're not somebody who latch on to things, or you're unable to move on. Like you're able to detach and let go of things that don't serve you, whether it is a person, a place, an idea. You're able to move forward. Why people can't figure you out? Just one card, please. Why people can't. Thank you. Ooh, we have the Six of Cups. There is this innocence about you with the Six of Cups. There's a purity of heart. And that's why people can't figure you out, because you don't operate out of malice. While them in their mind, they operate with malice, evil intention, or deception, while you move with integrity, with authenticity and purity of heart. And that's why they can't figure you out, because they're already thinking like twisted thoughts or negatively towards you, while you operate in sovereignty and purity. Why people can't figure you out? Yeah, because you walk by faith and not by sight. You see, we started with the Fool, we end with the Fool. You trust your own inner compass, and it's only between you and God, like the higher powers. Like they can't control that. So that's why they can't figure you out. They don't know what your next move is going to be, how you're going to move based on a certain situation. It's not, you're unpredictable, because we do have the Tower here as well. Okay. So that's all I have for you, my pal number one. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, pal number one. Bye. Hi, pal two. Welcome to my channel. This is stellabeautytarot back at you again with another video. So my pal number two, you picked the rose quartz crystal. And this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way that I like to do this is like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous file or previous readings, okay? So my pal number two. Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? We have the Lovers. So you could be a Gemini here. And if you are a Gemini and it's your birthday today, happy birthday, okay, with the Lovers. With this energy, it gives me the vibe that people can't figure you out because you're a well-balanced individual, okay? You don't have any, it's not that you don't have any weaknesses, but you've worked through your weaknesses, you've identified your weaknesses, and you learn to merge them between the two. Like you learn to merge your light and your dark side together. You learn to accept who you are to your core, everything about you. And it's kind of hard for people to engage with someone like you because you're very confident, you're self-assured, and that's why people can't figure you out, because they're maybe looking for weaknesses, an entry point to slither their way into your life, but they cannot do that because you're a sovereign being. You're in alignment with the Lovers here. Your feminine and masculine energy is aligned beautifully together. And that's why people can't figure you out. Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? My pal number 2. Why people can't figure you out? Wow, we have the 2 of Cups. That's beautiful. The Lovers, and now we have the 2 of Cups. Yeah, there is an alignment. Your feminine and masculine energy is intertwined and it is aligned, okay? You have a really good balance of feminine and masculine energy, and people can't figure out like how you well composed, especially in a male dominated field if you are a woman, or a feminine dominated field if you are a man, okay? A female dominant, I'm like feminine, a female dominated field, okay? So let's say, for instance, I'll give an example, like especially in corporate. Corporate is very male dominant, regardless if you are like a woman who is in a leadership position. It is more male dominant. We have more male CEOs in like corporate America or corporate wherever you are, okay, like in the world. It's mostly men, right? It's mostly run by men. So for you to operate in those places as a woman, it is challenging for other men to see you as their equal, because of like the way that maybe you dress, the way that you speak, the way that you are. But you're kind of hard to figure out because they could sense like there's an undercurrent. They could sense that there is something about you, but it's hard to pinpoint because of the way that you carry yourself. But they could sense that there is more to you than meets the eyes. That's why they can't figure you out, because like even the way that you present yourself, it doesn't mean that it's fake. It just means that there's many layers to it, okay? And this is what I'm getting here with the Lovers and the 2 of Cups. Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Ooh, we have the 6 of Cups. There is a purity or innocence when it comes to you in the way that you engage with people. You don't come with malice, and people could sense that, but they're kind of having a hard time like trusting what they're sensing about you because of the way that you look. I got that for pal number 1 as well, like something about your appearance. Why people can't. Ooh, we have the Queen of Pentacles. You're independent, you're self-sufficient, okay? You are extremely abundant. You may not hold a leadership title. For some of you do, but like you have earned your title by your work ethics. And some people, they can't figure out how did you manage to do that, especially if you are a working parent here. They're wondering like, how do you manage this workload? How do you do this? Especially if you're a single parent. If you are a parent, it's already like hard, even if you have a partner. But imagine doing it on your own and still striving. People can't figure out like, how do you do that? How are you so strong? How are you so stable? How are you so self-composed? Okay, with the Queen of Pentacles, how do you hold it all together and make it look so flawless? Okay, people trying to figure you out, but they can't. Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? You're well composed under pressure. Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? What do we have here? Why people can't figure you out? Ooh, we have the 6 of Wands. Public recognition. You're humble though. This is what I'm getting here. People may try to figure out why you are not letting your fame or your public recognition get to your head. You're still humble about how you handle yourself. Like, I feel like when people find out things about you with the Queen of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands, they're shocked or impressed or surprised. And they can't figure out like, how do you even like have all this power, all this recognition, and still are able to be grounded? Is because you don't let it get to your head. You're not you're not motivated by external success. You're more motivated by internal success, okay? Like your character development experiences and attributes here. This is what you're more focused on than outwardly recognition with the 6 of Wands. So why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Just one card, please, Spirit. Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Ooh, we have people can't figure you out because you're somebody who is self-reliant. and self-motivated with the Chariot. That's what I'm getting here. And that's why people can't figure you out. You don't rely, like I said, you don't rely on outside forces, outside influences to get you to do things. When you have your mind set on something, you get it done. You're very methodical. This is what I'm getting here with the Chariot. You're very focused, you're disciplined, and you're committed. You could be a Gemini, Cancer, Cusper. Your birthday could be coming up soon. So why people can't figure you out? Just one card, please. Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Just one card, please. Why people can't figure you out? We have, ooh, we have the Emperor. Bouse energy. Just like pile number one, you have quite leadership qualities, even if you do not have the title. And people are wondering, how did you cultivate this title? How did you even, like, not even just a title, sorry, how did you cultivate this qualities if you don't have the title? But the title does not come before the qualities. Like, you, for some people it does, because if they, you know, buttered themselves up to success or to a leadership position, it wasn't earned, it was given to them. So maybe that's why they don't understand you, because they can't relate to you. Okay, sorry about that, my pal number two. As I was saying, they can't relate to you, clearly. Confirmation. So they can't relate to you with the Emperor. Okay, that's why they can't figure you out. They can't relate. It's not that you're unrelatable, but you're unrelatable to the fakes and the phonies, or the people that perform. You're unrelatable. They can't understand you. That's why they can't figure you out. They don't know what motivates you, what drives you, what gets you going, what gets you up, like what's your motivation. They don't understand that because they don't operate the same way that you do. They don't have the same mind as you. So it's kind of hard for them to understand where you're coming from at times. There could be a lot of clash, ego clash, but not coming from you. Like, not, I don't feel like you're operating out of ego. Most of these people, the reason why they can't figure you out is because they are operating out of ego, and you're operating out of love. Okay, and a sense of like urgency, and like you're following your own inner compass, your own path, and that's why they can't figure you out. Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Just one card, please, Spirit. Why people can't figure you out? Yeah, we have the Magician. Magician came out for pile number one as well. Yeah, you're a master manifester. Is your faith in the universe, in life, in divine timing with the Magician, and that's why people can't figure out. Like, they don't understand how you operate, how you move throughout life. It's like you walk with that inner compass where you know, okay, everything is happening in divine timing for me. So I don't have to rush the process. I don't have to be boastful. I don't have to rush. I don't have to force myself into a situation that is not in alignment with me. I trust the intuitive nudges that I get once I take one step. If I'm being called to retreat, I am going to retreat. If I'm being called to move forward, that I'm going to move forward accordingly, but I'm not going to go any faster or any slower than the pace that I'm currently in. And that's why people can't figure you out, because that is something that's innate. You can't really explain when you get an intuitive nudge. You can't really verbalize this in words. Like, you can't put it in words and say like, okay, yeah, I gotta, like, it's like you can't really explain it. You have to feel it. And that's why people can't figure you out, because you trust that inner compass that you have. So when you walk with a purpose that is higher than just yourself. I hope that makes sense, guys. Okay, so why people can't figure you out? Ooh, we have the Nine of Cups. People can't figure out how you always get your wish fulfilled. Why things, like even things that were meant to sabotage you, always work out in your favor, because you walk by faith and not by sight, and you are blessed by the divine grace of God. It's by the grace of God. That's why they don't understand. They don't understand how grace works. You cannot fool God. You could do all the manipulation all you want, but you cannot fool God. Okay, like, to think that you can is very foolish. Like, you're the one who's the fool, because like, really, the Almighty, the one that sees all, you're gonna fool the Almighty? Okay, so Why people can't figure you out? Ooh, we have the Ace of Wands, your passion. They can't figure out where you get your energy, where you get your ideas from, your passion, your drive, how you keep going, how like you're energizing bunny. Like, how do you do that? That's why they can't figure out, because that innate energy, that fire that you have inside of you is not, you can't, it can't be duplicated. That's why they can't figure you out. Maybe you had people try to do what you do. They thought that it was easy because they saw you doing it with ease, so they're like, okay, well, if they can do it, I could do it too. But not knowing that it's your calling. There, you cannot duplicate someone else's calling. If this is not what God, the universe, assigned you to do, you will fail, because it was not your assignment. It was not what you were tasked to do. You went and did something that you saw someone else doing, and you thought because they're doing it easily, and that means you could do it too, not knowing that they were designed for this task. That's why they could do it. It's like you thinking like, oh yeah, I could be a surgeon. Oh yeah, the surgeon did it. Yo, look how he did it. I could do the same thing. Okay, we'll cut somebody off and see what's gonna happen with the, you know, if you're not gonna get arrested for not having the proper licensing and the experience and the skill set to do it. It's the same thing, and that's why they can't figure you out, because they're not understanding like how you operate. So why people can't figure you out? Ooh, we have the Queen of Swords. Your mind is sharp. They can't figure out your mind, the way that you think. Like, you could be an Aquarius here. I'm getting Aquarius energy where you're like you're innovative in your thinking, you're forward thinking. Okay, that's why I'm getting Aquarius energy. You could also be a Gemini, because we do have Gemini here, or Libra, but heavy on the Aquarian energy. You're farsighted, and that's why people can't figure you out. Like, you're futuristic. Yeah, we have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, you're fast, you're quick on your feet, you're sharp. Maybe your ideas, or like, let's say if you are a tarot reader, maybe you're the type of person that you get your downloads very fast. And I'm getting that with the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Why people can't figure you out? Yeah, because you're always 10 steps ahead with the Two of Wands. You're a forward thinker. Okay, why people can't figure you out, my pal? What do we have here? We have Bouse again, Emperor energy. Bouse. Ooh, you're definitely a leader here. A natural born leader. You don't need the title. You already have it. You have the skill sets. You're some of you, if you're not an Aries, you could be a dragon, like Chinese sign, because dragon is the equivalent of Aries. Okay, and like dragon, they have the same characteristics as Aries, like self-starter, like emperor energy, because the dragon is the emperor. Okay, so this is what I'm getting here. Some of you could be dragons here if you're not an Aries. Very driven, like focused, and like you're self-reliant. That's why people can't figure you out. Like, they think that, oh, if I don't support her or him, they're going to fail, they're not going to be able to succeed, when in actuality you prefer to work alone, you work better alone. They're not realizing that they're setting you up for success. Like, oh my gosh, why people can't figure you out? We have the Six of Pentacles. There is this generous streak about you. Like, every time you give, you're being replenished by the universe. The universe is your bank, basically. Like, every time you make a deposit by giving to someone else, you're receiving more. People can't figure that out. They can't figure out, like, how are you always in flow? You're never in lack. It's because of that spiritual connection that you have with the divine. Why people can't figure you out? They can't even figure out like why you're always blessed. So why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Yeah, we have the Judgment card. I feel like they can't figure you out because of the spiritual lessons that you have encountered throughout your life that has made you so strong-minded and extremely wise with the Judgment card. So you have an easier time spotting people, spotting specific characteristics in people that you need to learn to avoid, like you have learned to avoid. And that's why people can't figure you out, because you're your repertoire of experiences has made you extremely wise beyond your years, and that's why they can't figure you out. Because like while they're operating in low vibing, you're operating high vibing, and you're able to spot certain trends, certain characteristics, okay, certain patterns in people, and it's easy for you to identify people that are like you need to stay away from and people that you could get close to, okay. And that's why people can't figure you out, because of those experiences that you have. Why people can't figure you out? And I feel like you're cloaked as well. Why people can't figure you out? We have the Magician again. Yeah, you're a master manifester. But not only that, you're very skilled and talented with the Magician. And those skills that you have were, I really feel like it was past life gifts. Like I said, like as I was saying earlier, somebody who's trying to, like that surgeon example that I gave, like somebody who's trying to be a surgeon, but they're not even qualified. They see the surgeon, doing the surgery, and they're good. They're excelling. They're one of the top surgeon in their, the medical field or something. But they earn that spot. They were meant to do that. They have the qualification. You can't just go up and start cutting people up just because you saw someone else do it. Okay, so why people can't figure you out? Ooh, because you have this energetic cloak around you, a spiritual protection around you. This is what I'm getting here. You could be a Pisces, don't have to be. Why people can't figure you out? You're definitely a challenge, you're an enigma. Yeah, we have the Justice here. Libra energy. Yeah, like you have this energetic imprint about you with the Justice card that protects you from the evil eye, that protects you from people that are not in alignment with you. You have a lot of integrity here with the Justice card, and people can't figure out like how you maneuver like this, how your soul is so pure, intact after all the betrayal that you've gone through. Why people can't figure you out? I feel like you could be very stoic too. You don't wear your heart on your sleeve. That's why people can't figure you out. Why people can't figure you out? Yeah, we have the Magician 3 times. We have Gemini um 4 times. Maybe you could be a Gemini here. That could be another reason why people are having a hard time figuring you out, because of the twins, right? Gemini is the twins. You're unpredictable. That's why people can't figure you out. Why people can't figure you out? We have the Four of Cups. You're emotionally detached. Like I said, something about you, you're more stoic. So it's kind of hard to read your emotion or what you're thinking. You know more than you let on, but you don't say much. You're just you observe. Why people can't figure you out? Yeah, you're 2 wands. You're like 10 steps ahead of them. You're a far-sighted individual. Why people can't figure you out? We have the Page of Swords. Yeah, you're clever. You're extremely clever here. We have the Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords, and Page of Swords. You are fat, like you think very quickly. You're sharp. Okay, that's why they can't figure you out. Why people can't figure you out? Yeah, we have the Knight of Pentacles, but you see that cautious energy, that methodical energy. You're very observant. I don't know why I heard Machiavelli, the Prince. Maybe you've read some of his books. I think it's more than one book. So why people can't figure you out? Ooh, didn't I say you're unpredictable? I can't make it up, guys. You're unpredictable. That's why they can't figure you out. You're hard to read. There's many layers to you. Okay, every time somebody thinks that they figured you out, you're onto something else, something bigger, something further, like out of their reach. Okay, yeah, 3 of Wands, out of their reach. All right, so that's all I have for you, my pal number 2. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in my next video, pal number 2. Bye. Hi, pal 3. Welcome to my channel. This is stellabeautytarot back at you again with another video. So, my pal number 3, you picked the amethyst crystal, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So, if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way that I like to do this is like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pile or previous readings, okay? So my pile number 3. Why people can't figure you out. Why people can't figure you out. Why people can't figure you out. What do we have here? Ooh, we have the Knight of Pentacles. You are a methodical individual. Slow and steady is your model. You could be a Taurus here. Yeah, you're extremely dedicated. That's why people can't figure you out, because your dedication is not something that is performative. Okay, it's really something that is like it is part of your core system, your core values. And that's why people can't figure you out, because your values are intact. It's something that is not like, you don't really share those information with people that easily, and that's why they can't figure you out. It's like your core values. You walk by faith and not by sight, and that has been the theme for all 3 piles: walking by faith and not by sight. Why people can't figure you out. Just one card, please, Spirit. What do we have here? Ooh, where your confidence come from. Your boldness, your assertiveness. You could be a Leo here. You shine brightly like a diamond, okay? And people can't figure out where that glow, where that light comes from. I feel like there's something about your appearance that throws people off, because I feel like you're not a loud person. Like, you don't really you're not performative, you're not braggy, okay? Like, you're very humble in your approach, especially with the Knight of Pentacles. However, you have this light within you. You have this fire within you with the Sun card that's undeniable, and that's why people can't figure you out, because they see you as somebody who's methodical, trustworthy, dependable. There is longevity when it comes to you with the Knight of Pentacles. However, with this energy that you possess, people may doubt or underestimate what you could do. That's why people can't figure you out. They know that there's a fire in you with the Sun card. The Knight of Pentacles speaks of your stability and your steadiness, okay? And longevity. However, they don't know how strong that fire is burning. That's why they can't figure you out. They can sense that you have that fire, you have that drive, but it's slow burning with the Knight of Pentacles. Okay? Slow and steady. So why people can't figure you out? Ooh, you move strategically with the Seven of Swords. Some people may see you as being deceptive or sneaky because you don't really vocalize your plans, but this is strategy here. This is what I'm getting here with the Seven of Swords. You're very strategic. Why people can't figure you out? Just one card, please, Spirit. Why people can't figure you out? We have the Fool card, and I believe the Fool card came out for all 3 piles. You walk to the beat of your own drums. You trust your own inner compass. People don't know what your plan is, and they never will, because it's between you and God, the universe, okay? Whatever you believe in is between you and that, okay? So if it's God, if it's Allah, if it's the universe, it is that. That's what it is for you, okay? So that's what I mean by that, okay? So it's just like between you and your higher self, your belief system. And that's why people can't figure you out. And your belief system is personal to you. It's not something that you broadcast and share with the world. Why people can't figure you out? Ooh, because you're a challenge. Or you may also challenge their views of what is possible, what is feasible, because of the way that you operate with the Fool card. So people are burdened or challenged by your views. That's why they can't figure you out. Because maybe your views are controversial, or it's just not in alignment with what they believe. It doesn't mean that what you believe in is wrong. There's nothing wrong with it, because you're not hurting anybody with your beliefs. It's just the way that you operate. So it's kind of hard for people to figure out if they don't understand you. That's what I'm getting here with the Ten of Wands. Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Just one card, please, Spirit. Why people can't figure you out? We have, oh, there's 2 cards. Why people can't figure you out. Just one card, please, Spirit. Ooh, we have the Page of Swords. You're clever. You're clever. Somebody's pissed. I'm getting like an annoyed energy. They know you're clever. They also know you know they're watching you. And they can't figure out, how do you know that? How are you so 10 step ahead of them? Seven of Swords, they don't like that. That's why they feel like you're sneaky. Because you see more than you say. Like you watch, you observe with the Page of Swords, you take notes, you know, you take mental notes, and then you don't say a thing. And you keep peeping game. And then when you peep game, you adjust accordingly. That's why people can't figure you out. Why people can't figure you out? Ooh, wee. The High Priestess. I'm not even surprised that she's out. I'm telling you. That's why they can't figure you out. Your intuition is on point. My pal number 3. Do not trust her. I don't know why I said that. Oh my gosh. That's not what I meant to say. Holy. Okay. There's somebody that you can't trust. It's a she. What? Yo, okay, there's somebody that you can't trust. Because what I meant to say, don't underestimate her. There's a female, there's a woman that you can't trust. My pal number 3. Because that came through, like I didn't even realize I said that until after, like it took me like a 2 seconds, like, whoa, what did I just say? What the hell did I say? That was like a spirit that came through. You can't trust her. Whoever her is to you, whoever is telling you that you're moving, shifty, this is who you cannot trust. Somebody around you, you can't trust. Trust, like with the High Priestess here, because I'm telling you, I was not even aware that I said that until after. Like, there's somebody that you can't trust, my pal number 3. This is specifically for you, and I believe it would resonate for all of you, because her could be anybody in your life. There's just somebody that you peep game on with the Page of Swords, and that's the reason why they can't figure you out, because you're always 10 step ahead of them. You see, now they don't want me to talk. So why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure? Ooh, 5 of Swords. I'm telling you, this is why Spirit just like let the message flow like that, because that's not what I meant to say. Like, holy, and it just came like that, and I wasn't like even in control. Like, it just came out like that. It wasn't something that I was thinking. It's just that it came out, and that was Spirit. They wanted me to say that. Somebody needs to hear that. Somebody's pissed. 5 of Swords. There's an angry energy here that can't figure you out, and they're pissed. This is somebody who wants to, their ego, something about their ego. You crushed their ego, or you did something, or you said something about them with the High Priestess that was right on point, and this person is livid. Their ego is bruised. They don't even know how you were able to maneuver or counterattack. Okay, so why people can't figure you out? Yeah, because with the Page of Pentacles, I feel like you're very practical here, but you're also very prudent. Because we have the Knight of Pentacles is a prudent energy, and the Page of Pentacles is also prudent. It's a student, it's a scholar, but he's cautious. He doesn't like, he takes his time to get to know things. You're methodical in your approach, and that's why people can't figure you out. You don't rush the process. Why people can't figure you out? Ooh, we have the King of Wands. Maybe they're wondering like where you get your confidence, your strength from. Because of the Sun card, like I said, with the Knight of Pentacles, you come off as somebody who is very humble, which you are. But just because somebody's humble doesn't mean they don't have a fire in them, that they don't have drive and determination. Maybe this is somebody who may have overlooked you, because they may have felt initially that you were not a threat because of like how you perceive or you presented yourself with the Knight of Pentacles, a slow, calm energy, but you have that drive, you have that fire within you with the King of Wands and the Sun card that makes people like take a step back and be like, okay, whoa, I must have misread this person because they're not who I thought they were. That's why people can't figure you out. because it's like their original impression of you is not the reality of you. Why people can't figure you out? Yeah, we have the Page of Wands. You have this very fiery energy that you possess with the Page of Wands and the King of Wands that is hard to measure, that is hard to understand. So that's why people can't figure you out. They cannot measure how far or how big that flame you have within you, because it's well contained with the Knight of Pentacles. Like I said, you're not boastful, you're very humble. In like, the thing is, the other thing I'm getting for you, not the fact that not only are you humble, you're not the type of person that you're not going to really brag about your skill sets and your talent, but you have a lot more to offer than what meets the eyes. And that's why people can't read you. They don't understand you. Okay? That's why they can't figure you out, because of that. There's a lot more to you than meets the eyes, but you contain that side of you with the Page of Pentacles. You have strong boundaries here. Why people can't figure you? Yeah, we have the Four of Wands. You're very stable. You have a stable, steady energy. You're very grounded here. You're not easily shaken or thrown off by obstacles or challenges. Why? Wait, okay, let me see. Yeah, Ace of Swords. Ooh, you're the truth. There's clarity. And like, I feel like people can't figure you out because they're looking through fogginess. Like, their lenses are foggy when they look at you. They're not seeing the truth or the clarity of you, the reality of you. They're looking for flaws or mistakes or um like something like fraudulent about your character, but they're not finding anything. Why people can't figure you out? Just one card, please. Why people can't figure you out? Just one, please. What do we have? Ooh, we have Temperance, Sagittarius energy. Yeah, you're even tempered, calm, cool, and collected under pressure, especially in chaotic environment with the Five of Swords, because I feel like this could be somebody in your environment. So like the workplace, your community, even family, where like you may have family members that cannot figure you out because they operate out of chaos while you operate out of sovereignty, peace, and like serenity. And this is not the language that they speak. So when you guys communicate, there's a disconnect. That's why they can't figure you out. You guys are not in the same frequency energetically. Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? We have the Queen of Swords because you're intelligent. You're very intelligent, you're articulate, you're a great communicator, you're very bold, okay? And people can't figure you out. They can't figure out where does that come from, because I feel like the Knight of Pentacles was their initial perception of you, which is not wrong. It's not like your like this Knight of Pentacles part of you is gone. Is that they thought that you were only Knight of Pentacles, that's all you had. That's what the problem is. They misjudged you. They thought, yeah, they're only Knight of Pentacles. Like, yeah, they're reliable, they're trustworthy, but they're not fiery, they're not driven, they're not ambitious. They doubted your ambition here. They didn't know how ambitious you were. But your ambition is not driven by ego. That's why they can't figure you out. Maybe they try to trick you or make you do something or get you caught up in a situation where you have to prove a point. Like, you don't do that. You don't operate like that. And that's why they can't figure you out. You don't operate through your ego. You operate through serenity, sovereignty. And that's why they can't figure you out. Like I said, you guys don't speak the same language. Why people can't figure you out? Just one card, please, Spirit. We have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so you're not somebody who is controlling, emotionally manipulative, okay, a hoarder. That's why they can figure you out. Like I said, you're not greedy, egotistical. Why people can't figure you out? Just one card, please, Spirit. Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Ooh, I was gonna say Justice, the Wheel of Fortune. People can't figure out why you're so blessed, why the wheel is always in your favor. They can't figure out like where your blessings, where your divine protection comes from, especially people that may have tried to send you negativity or evil eye. They can't figure out like how you're always blessed, how you always come out on top, no matter what. No matter what's thrown at you, no matter what is done to you, you always come out on top. So why people can't figure you out? Just one card, please, Spirit. Why people can't figure you out? Holy. Why people can't figure, just one card, please. Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Because they're unable to look at things from a different perspective. They're rigid in their approach with the Hangman in reverse. They're not seeing you as a multi-dimensional individual. They're seeing you as limited with the Knight of Pentacles. Like I said, they're only seeing you as Knight of Pentacles. They can't understand that you could be multifaceted. And you are, my pile number 3. That's why they can't figure you out. They're still stuck on the Knight of Pentacles energy, and they're not trying to understand or see you for who you truly are, for the magnificent being that you are. They're trying to make you look like you're small when you're not. We have the Death card, okay? You're resilient. You're mysterious. That's why they can't figure you out. There's many layers to you. You could be a Scorpio here, don't have to be. You could be a Scorpio, Sagittarius, Cusper. That's what I'm getting here. Yeah, because you're extremely mysterious. Okay, and that's why they can't figure you out. There's many layers to you. They don't know that. They don't want to accept that. It's kind of like challenging for them to really admit that there's many layers to you. You are very multifaceted, versatile, and they're very limited in their approach. So why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Ooh, because you're unpredictable with the Tower. And I think the Tower came out for all 3 piles. Okay? All 3 piles. You're unpredictable. That's why they can't figure you out. Like I said, many layers to you. Mysterious. Why people can't figure? We have the Lovers. Gemini energy. Okay, and I think that's the second time. I think the Magician came out already. If not, and if you are a Gemini and it's your birthday today, happy birthday. If I didn't say it earlier, you're very much aligned with your feminine and masculine energy. That's why they can't figure you out. Maybe because they feel like, okay, let's say if you're a man here, they may think that you're masculine and you're not in touch with your emotions or your femininity. So they may think that you would react to certain things that many men that are not in alignment with your femininity will act. So let's say, for instance, somebody try to say something to get you to react in a negative way or aggressive way, and you're self-composed, like you don't do anything, you don't behave or react the way that they're expecting you to, and they're trying to figure out like why are you so emotionally in tuned, not understanding that you're in alignment. Why people can't figure you out? Just one card, please. Why people can't figure you out? Okay, has been like a reoccurring theme. I think pile 1 for sure. 2 got the Lovers and the Hierophant. Your values are aligned. You have your own set of values and code of ethics that are aligned with the Lovers. You could be a Taurus, Gemini, Cusper, and that's why they can't figure you out. Your values are aligned and you walk with integrity. You're not a performative individual. You're not pretending to be something that you're not just for show. And that's why they can't figure you out. They're fake. Why people can't figure you out? Just one card, please, Spirit. Why people can't figure you out? Just one. Holy moly. Like, holy. Why people can't figure you out? Ooh. Because you represent a challenge. You challenge their views. The 10 of Wands, and I said something difficult, challenging. That's why they can't figure you out. We have the Strength card. You're a sovereign being. Okay? Self-mastery. Like I said, going back to that example, especially if you are a man. You know how they expect men to not be emotionally intelligent like women are? But that's not the case for every man. Some men are very emotionally intelligent, very aware, and they're not really led by their emotions. They're not the type of men, like, you know, those type of men that, like, you reject them and they're already calling you out of your name. Okay, pile number 3, you're not like that. And that's what makes people like second guess or trying to figure you out, because you don't really operate like the same way that they expect you to operate in. Okay, you're emotionally aware, you're emotionally intelligent. Why people can't figure you out? Why people can't figure you out? Just one card. Yeah, you're very patient. 7 of Pentacles. Self-mastery. Okay? You're not somebody who rushes the process. Yeah, you're very dedicated. And you're hard to read. That's why people can't figure you out. You're hard to read. You don't lead with your emotion, like your heart on your sleeve. I got that for pile number 2 as well. You don't lead with your heart on your sleeve. You're more logical, and you're street smart and book smart. That's what I'm getting here, and that's why people can figure you out. You're 10 step ahead of the game. Okay? So that's all I have for you, my pal number 3. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, pal number 3. Bye.